Bonjour, in this lesson some pronunciation tips in French again, and this time about the future tense in French with FrenchSpanishOnline.com. Well, of course you need to know something about the future, so you can go to my website and review it. Once it's done, let's start with this conversation. As usual, we are going to start the way we speak at school, then the way we speak in France. So let's start the conversation. Quand tu viendras, n'oublie pas l'ordi. Je ne sais pas si j'aurai le temps de passer. Quand on veut, on peut. Facile à dire, mais je ferai ce que je pourrai. Merci. Et tu achèteras de l'encre pour l'imprimante en venant? Pas de problème. Et quand elle rentrera, dis-lui bonjour. Ma femme? Ah oui. D'accord. Well, again, it lacks of contractions, liaisons in this conversation. So let's see what we can do now to improve our conversation, our pronunciation. Well, quand tu viendras, n'oublie pas l'ordi. Here, we have not a lot of things to do. Viendra is the irregular future of the verb venir. Tu viendras. N'oublie. L'ordi, or ordi, is the short word for ordinateur, which means computer. Ordinateur, or the short word is ordi, l'ordi. So here, what we want to say actually in this sentence, that first, it is possible in French, after quand, when, to have the future tense. Quand tu viendras. So in French, it is when you will come. Okay, and not when you come. Quand tu viendras. Because it's a future event, so we can use the future tense after quand in French. We just have one thing to say about a contraction, and it's about the negative form. You know that we don't pronounce when you speak the first part, the ne part of the negative form. So here you can just say oublie pas l'ordi instead of n'oublie pas l'ordi. The second sentence is je ne sais pas si j'aurai le temps de passer. J'aurai is the future tense, irregular form of the verb avoir. Temps, we don't pronounce nor the P, neither the letter S. Temps, time. And here is what we are going to see in this lesson, that most of the time when we have a contraction in French, it is because of the letter E, and when this letter E is alone. So here, in the first part of our sentence, we've got je ne sais pas. If you remember the previous lesson, here you can have a contraction for these four words and just say in French, je sais pas. So je sais pas is the contraction, the spoken contraction of je ne sais pas in French, je sais pas. Here, because we've got the letter E, we are not going to pronounce it, and j'aurai le becomes j'aurai le. J'aurai le temps. J'aurai le temps. And we have here a second E. It is going to disappear too, and we have, instead of de passer, te passer, te passer. So the sentence is, je sais pas si j'aurai le temps de passer. Okay? Again, please. Je sais pas si j'aurai le temps de passer. Je sais pas si j'aurai le temps de passer. Quand on veut, on peut. So when someone wants, actually he can. On, something that we pronounce with the nose. On veut et peut. So vouloir and pouvoir. So in this sentence, the interesting thing for us is the contraction or the liaison we have between quand and the following word. Here the word on starts with a vowel. So we have a liaison between these two parts, quand and on. But the thing is that the letter D in this case becomes a T. So instead of quand on, we say quand on with a T. And it's a rule here. Anytime when we have a D at the end of the word, it becomes a T if, of course, afterwards you've got a word starting with a vowel. Quand on veut, on peut. Facile à dire, mais je ferai ce que je pourrai. Facile, ferai, this is the irregular future for the verb faire, to do, to make in French. Pourrait, another irregular future for the verb pouvoir. And as you can see in this sentence, we've got many E, so you can guess that we are going to have some contractions. The first one with the first E here, so this one is going to disappear, and we say facile à dire, facile à dire. The second one is here, as we have je ferai. Well, actually we've got two E in this short sentence. The first one with the subject and the second one with the verb. So instead of je ferai, we are going to say je ferai. Je ferai. Repeat it, please. Je ferai. And here, because we've got ce que je, well, these three words are actually one contraction to say ce que je. Ce que je. So the sentence now is facile à dire, mais je ferai ce que je pourrai. Try it, please. Facile à dire, mais je ferai ce que je pourrai. Tu achèteras de l'encre. Achèteras is the nearly regular future tense of the verb acheter. Why nearly? Because actually here we've got a grave accent. We don't have the infinitive form. So, but the last part of the verb here is regular. Aura is regular for the verb of the first group in French, the group which infinitive is in ER. Encre, to say ink, encre. So the thing is, and it's a rule too, that we have a letter E in this future tense form, and it's when we speak it, it's going to disappear. So instead of tu achèteras, we say actually here t'achèteras, t'achèteras. So first the subject tu becomes just a T, and here, as you can see, the letter E disappears again. T'achèteras, t'achèteras, and we've got another one here because of the second E of the word de, so instead of de l'encre, we say de l'encre, de l'encre. So the whole sentence is t'achèteras de l'encre. Try it, please. T'achèteras de l'encre. Again. The following sentence is pas de problème, et quand elle rentrera, dis-lui bonjour. So problème, rentrera, so this times is completely regular for the future tense, rentrera for the verb rentrer, to come back. Dis, lui, so lui here in the context is the indirect object. That's why it can be masculine or feminine. And in this sentence, because lui is related to elle, so it is feminine. Lui, elle, the same person here. So quand elle rentrera, dis-lui bonjour. Lui is for a female. So we have some E. So again, we're going to have some contractions. So the first one with the first E here, instead of pas de, you remember that we say pas de. Pas de problème. Pas de problème. Again, here we have the letter D at the end of quand. then a word starting with a vowel, so the letter D becomes a T, and instead of quand elle, we say quand elle. We've got here, so a liaison, quand elle. Rentrera, well, here we've got a letter E, so you can say rentrera if you want, or just rentrera, rentrera. You can insist a bit more on the letter R, because you've got two R's in this case. Rentrera. Dis-lui bonjour. So the whole sentence now is, pas de problème, et quand elle rentrera, dis-lui bonjour. Try it. Pas de problème, et quand elle rentrera, dis-lui bonjour. Ma femme, so here, not a lot of things actually to say, just that the letter E here is pronounced like a A for this particular word, femme. And again, we don't pronounce the final E, femme. And that's all what we have to say on this word. So here again, our pronunciation, our conversation. So as you can see, the problem is French is with the letter E. So when we have the letter E, usually this letter disappears. Let's start the whole conversation again, sentence after sentence, and we're going to pronounce it the way we speak in France. Let's start with the first one. Quand tu viendras, oublie pas l'ordi. Again, please. Quand tu viendras, oublie pas l'ordi. Je sais pas si j'aurai le temps de passer. Once again, je sais pas si j'aurai le temps de passer. Quand on veut, on peut. Quand on veut, on peut. Facile à dire, mais je ferai ce que je pourrai. Once again, facile à dire, mais je ferai ce que je pourrai. Merci, et t'achèteras de l'encre pour l'imprimante en venant. So here, imprimante is a printer and en venant means on your way back. So again, merci, et t'achèteras de l'encre pour l'imprimante en venant. Pas de problème, et quand elle rentrera, dis-lui bonjour. Again, pas de problème, et quand elle rentrera, dis-lui bonjour. Ma femme? Ah oui, d'accord. Ma femme? Ah oui, d'accord. And let's start with at the beginning now to have the whole conversation. So, quand tu viendras, oublie pas l'ordi. Je sais pas si j'aurai le temps de passer. Quand on veut, on peut. Facile à dire, mais je ferai ce que je pourrai. Merci, et t'achèteras de l'encre pour l'imprimante en venant. Pas de problème, et quand elle rentrera, dis-lui bonjour. Ma femme? Ah oui, d'accord. So again, as you can see here, when we have a letter E alone, pronounce E usually here, we don't pronounce it in French, and in this conversation we've got many. The second thing that I wanted to say again, it's with the word quand. You remember now that the letter D becomes a T to make the liaison with the following word. Okay? And this way, you will improve your pronunciation in French. Allez, c'est fini. Thank you for watching these slides. See you next time. Au revoir et bon français.